Greetings, everybody. My name is Griffin Harvey, and I'm a senior graduating in May. I'm double majoring in global studies and environmental education with a minor in Spanish. And the name of my program is Growing Wise. So, to begin, in 2017, a year before I came to Wilson, I had the privilege of attending Croca Expedition's Ecuador semester. Croca is a biodynamic farm and a summer camp located in Marlow, New Hampshire, which provides multi-week length summer camps as well as semester-length programs during the school year for youth of a variety of ages. During the Ecuador semester, I had the opportunity of traveling to the Andes Mountains where I got to practice traditional farming and also learn about permaculture, which is short for permanent agriculture. During my time in Ecuador, I was also immersed in the traditional Andean culture, and I learned how to speak the Spanish language. This semester was one of the most inspiring times of my life, and ever since I've had a passion for farming. Ultimately, the Ecuador semester is what led me to come to Warren Wilson. During my time in Warren Wilson, I've had a personal interest in Latin American food security and agricultural networks. And just a couple of months ago, I had the opportunity of speaking to Roni Lek. Roni's a Guatemalan permaculturist, and he created the Mesoamerican Permaculture Institute, also known as the EMAP, in rural Guatemala. The EMAP serves as a hub of agricultural education and outreach for both exchange students and local Guatemalan farmers, and also has one of the main banks for native seeds in the Lake Atitlan highland region of Guatemala. So, after meeting with Roni, this really inspired the foundation for my program, and I wrote it as a partnership between Croca and the EMAP. During this 2-week program, 12 participants between the ages of 16 and 19 will travel with 2 instructors from Croca's base camp in rural New Hampshire to EMAP's farm in rural Guatemala. Yet, some of you may ask, why did I base this program in Guatemala? Well, with over 60% of the population in Guatemala affected by food insecurity and hunger, Guatemala is both one of the hungriest and poorest countries in Latin America. The statistics from the World Bank show that up to 47% of Guatemalan children under the age of 5 are experience stunting due to malnutrition in their first years of life. And within a global context of climate change, a pandemic, and a recession, these statistics are just projected to get worse. On top of this, Guatemala is ranked the 9th most climate vulnerable country in the world. And what this means is that the Guatemalan people and economy are already grappling with the immense effects of climate change. Sadly, the rural, poor, and indigenous people are hit the hardest. Subsistence farmers are experiencing crop failures year after year due to climate-induced droughts, and many seasonal farm laborers are unable to find work and earn an income. Roni, the founder of the EMAP, sees Mayan farming practices as well as localized food production networks, native seed cultivation, and permaculture as each providing unique solutions to the issues experienced by rural campesinos living in Guatemala. So this program is an opportunity for exchange students to gain an awareness of the issues facing community health and nutrition in rural Guatemala while discovering solutions through sustainable resource and water management. With a focus on food security, participants will practice traditional agriculture and learn about permaculture while making a personal contribution to the movement for local food sovereignty. Along these lines, Growing Wise has 4 central goals. These are empowering relationships, community development, environmental stewardship, and permaculture skills. Empowering relationships is all about cultivating bonds between participants in the program, as well as building connections between the group and the local people that they interact with during their travel. Community development refers to supporting local agricultural initiatives to bolster food security and economic development in the Lake Atitlan region. Environmental stewardship represents building an awareness of ecological issues among youth and empowering them to take actions to care for the health of water, soil, and the natural environment. And lastly, youth will develop permaculture skills through the discussion, application, and implementation of the 12 principles and 3 ethical pillars of permaculture design. The daily schedule looks a little bit like this and was inspired by my own time in Ecuador. The day begins with an hour of chores such as cooking, cleaning, and farming around the EMAP, which will vary by the day. And the bulk of the day consists of two 2-hour-long lessons which are correlated under one of the program's central themes. Breaks are included for rests, group walks, and 3 home-cooked traditional Guatemalan meals each day. Before dinner, students will find a personal sit spot, which is a location on the property where they will go every day to be alone in nature. Here they will recollect with their breath, they will observe their surroundings, journal or draw, and just sit. During the evening group times, participants will reflect on the day and discuss logistics for the following day, as well as partake in long shares. During long shares, each student will retell the story of their life, their background, why they chose to attend the program, and discuss their dreams and hopes for the future. This is an opportunity for participants to get to know each other better, to form a tighter-knit community as they travel. The day ends at 9:30, giving these teenage participants 9.5 hours of much-needed rest each night. So I sequence my lessons according to 7 central themes, and these are orientation, soil, water, traditions, climate, biodiversity, and closing. My lessons cater to a variety of learning styles and include group discussions and debates, farming and construction workshops, tours, explorations of the land, as well as art-making periods and presentations. During the orientation unit, students will have an introduction to the group, as well as an exploration of the property of the EMAP and discussions on permaculture. The soil unit incorporates discussions on soil biology and ecology, as well as workshops on composting using a variety of techniques to teach participants how to cultivate and protect healthy soil. The water unit includes discussions on hydrology, a workshop on building a rainwater catchment system at the EMAP, as well as interaction with EMAP's aquaculture ponds where they raise fish. This unit shows students how to successfully manage and conserve the EMAP's limited water resources. The Traditions unit incorporates a variety of cooking and farming classes where participants will learn how to plant the 3 sisters, which is corn, beans, and squash, as well as how to process corn into tortillas, both of which are practices that are important to the traditional Guatemalan people. The Climate unit incorporates discussions and workshops on climate-resilient agriculture, as well as a mock climate crisis trial where participants will debate on the major causes of climate change. This unit will boost their understanding of the effects of a warming climate and show them how agricultural systems can adapt to these changes. The Biodiversity unit combines a discussion on threats to native species conservation in Guatemala with a tour, an interactive tour, and project at a local shade-grown coffee farming cooperative. Lastly, the program will culminate in a closing unit with participants working together to create a permaculture guidebook to document their learning of permaculture, as well as a final group circle back at Croca. While in Guatemala, the youth will execute 2 agriculturally based community service projects to apply their learning and promote local food sovereignty. These projects will include building community gardens and planting fruit trees at the homes of families living in relocated communities within the Lake Atitlan region. Participants will be evaluated in multiple ways, including journal entries and one-on-one check-ins with instructors throughout the course, as well as pre- and post-course written evaluations. These will ensure that our program offers the highest quality instruction, as well as that it develops each year to meet the changing needs of its participants. The cost of the program is $2,800 per student, which includes the cost of flights. However, students can earn up to $800 in need-based scholarships from Croca. On top of this, 10% of the total program cost will go into EMAP's scholarship fund, which helps support local Guatemalans in attending their classes and programs. So Growing Wise was really an opportunity for me to apply my knowledge of permaculture and of lesson development with inspiration from my time in Ecuador and my own passion for farming. I created this program with the full intention of actually running in the future, and it's my greatest hope that someday I can work with Croca to turn this dream into a reality. Before I leave, I would like to acknowledge a few special people who helped me along the way. First, I'd like to say thanks to Ezra Fradkin, my associate at Croca, who communicated with me throughout the process, as well as Roni, who really inspired this program by meeting with me in the beginning. I'd also like to thank Mallory McDuff, my professor, who's been with me every single step of this project, as well as my mom, who's been there for me since day one, literally. Lastly, I'd like to give a special thank you to my beautiful girlfriend, Sydney, who's always my biggest supporter and is definitely done listening to me talk about this project. So thank you everybody so much for coming. And if you have any questions for me or want to learn more, please reach out. Thanks so much.